Hello, cruisers and groovers.
Woo!
It's Deb and Matt. You may have seen the videos already from our vlogs for the Disco Glam cruise, but we are here now to do an exciting full review.
Come along and we'll show you what we experienced on this cruise.
Deb, let's kick off.
All right, so when we decided that we wanted to do a 70s disco cruise, because we'd not done one before, we were obviously flying blind like everyone else, but we went, let's get into this. So we went costume shopping, didn't we?
We did. Costume shopping's a part of theme cruises. You've got to get into it.
You know, obviously Matt's got his shiny shirts.
Got my disco shine.
You know, I put my disco balls back on today just because I love them so much. But so we jumped on all sorts of sites. There was, you know, obviously your Teams and your Timus and your Sheens,
Yes.
Sheen, however you pronounce it. Even Amazon.
Checked out
Costume
some
box,
op shops.
like, yeah.
Costume box, Blossom costumes, you know.
As you can see here, we've we'll put a couple of pictures on of a couple of the outfits that we dressed up in before we went on, because we realised that we didn't get a lot of shots when we were actually on the cruise. So make sure you do that one.
Yeah, do take photos. It's one important thing. There was plenty of people that just did the evenings and that sort of thing. So either way, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So we decided we'd get on the cruise dressed up a little bit, didn't we?
We did. So we obviously, with this disco cruise, it was also backing on to surprising Noah with a cruise.
Yes.
So we did that. So we weren't maybe as out there.
We were hidden underneath our shirts. We had our 70s, we had some T-shirts made up with the 70s cruising on them. But then, we went and grabbed out of our suitcase our wigs, and we donned our wigs on, and Noah was mortified. But he had a lot of fun. So, we got on board, and there were quite a lot of people in groups that were dressed up in particular.
Yep, definitely.
But as I said, completely up to you, but we decided just to start it early.
Yeah,
Get into the swing.
Look, and there were people that were boarding in costume.
Yep.
But we mentioned Noah, and the other thing is there were plenty of kids as well that were getting into it. They had costumes and things, and were really just having an absolute cracker time.
Yeah, they certainly were. So then we decided, once we got on board, that it was time to go and get dressed for the sail away party.
So we were probably a little casual compared to some for the sail away party.
They were fantastic, some of these outfits.
Look, and the sail away party really set the benchmark. We knew at that moment this was going to be an epic cruise.
Absolutely.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, I think I had my flares on, and we had our shirts, and we had our wigs.
Yes,
and we got our groove on up there.
And look, and this particular Disco Glam cruise was departing from Sydney, so you had the iconic Harbour Bridge and Opera House and all that scenery as you're travelling through the harbour. But the cruise director and all the entertainment team, what a party that.
I think some of them like to get dressed up in that in those 70s little shorty shorts.
Yes, the shorty shorts.
There's a certain couple of guys in there. I think they were really thoroughly enjoyed wearing those every day.
It certainly looked like it. It certainly did. But so the sail away party, as soon as you're on board, that just kicked off. Absolutely epic times. We got to catch up with a few people. We saw Julius, the cruise guy.
His groove on.
And he was kicked off at that moment. He was actually the Facebook moderator for this particular cruise, for the group that was created for that. Of course, good friends of ours nowadays, people that we're big fans of, Rob and Ali, saw them.
Cruise and travel,
They were there at the sail away party as well, so we got to see them, hang out with them for a little bit. And the great thing was that even though the sail away party was happening and it was a themed cruise, normal things didn't stop. So the Edge Pass, for example, all those Edge activities, because this was a P&O cruise, they were still going. So we actually had Noah during the sail away party cruising on
the Flying Fox.
On the Flying Fox, going across the top deck of the sail away party, which gave him some pretty epic views.
Yeah, so the sail away party usually goes for, so usually about an hour or two or so that everyone's up there. I think that's when everyone starts to go to their dinners and stuff. But then, like on any cruise, all the nighttime activities kick in. So, shows can be early They can be like a 6 o'clock show, and then you might get an 8, or you might get an 8 and a 10. So this is where everyone sort of departs on what they would prefer, whether they like to eat early or eat late. So
well, we got through dinner. Like there wasn't really any, it wasn't disco glam themed food or any of that sort of thing.
How you do that?
But we had.
I'm thinking of like the whole steak and kidney that I used to have to eat when I was. Okay, no 70s food.
But the as the night progressed, the parties that would normally happen. So there wasn't a formal night or a Gatsby night or anything like this. This theme cruise, it was all disco glam. So the parties in the sort of atrium on the ship every night, they were epic, but they were all just night. Disco hits, songs from the 70s.
Yeah, different bands, and like as you can see in our photos, that it just was wall to wall. Everyone was getting in every there, night, dancing, and it was all up the stairs, up around the balconies as well, looking down.
Yeah.
So those atrium parties were excellent.
They were.
As again, if you're a people watcher, you could stand there and just tap your feet and, boogie along, or you can get down there on that dance floor or the stairs or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe not the stairs, be careful. But yes. So those atrium nights were fantastic.
They were. So the normal sort of premium show, the Blanc de Blanc still was happening as part of, which happens on every cruise. There was a comedy act that first night.
Yes, we didn't get to that one.
In the main theatre. But it was basically just that party in the atrium. So, again, really energetic, went all night. Day 2 was...
So, during the day, this is, as you might know if you've been on a cruise or if you don't, they put on so many activities, like whether they be trivias, scavenger hunts, wine tasting, making fascinators or whatever it may be. So we were really intrigued as to what kind of activities they would do on the 70s cruise. And wow, they actually did so many themed 70s. So there were 70s trivias, there was the 70s dance class, which I got to have a little bit of a boogie on.
Boogie.
Yeah. Where there was game shows. We did a murder mystery.
We did.
On that was 70s themed. So they did so much of it. Name That Tunes. I think this was probably one of the biggest cruises. We did so much. Usually we try to slow down a little bit, but not this one. It was so much fun. I just wanted to keep going to them all.
Yeah, it was awesome how they really did just sort of put a new twist on all of those different activities, and really sort of made a lot of fun for us. It was great.
No, all those activities were brilliant. So yeah, we just went from one to one during the day.
Pretty full. With this particular cruise, it was out of Sydney, so in July. So it was cool to begin with, and then we had some poor weather, some bad weather. So we actually had to the high winds from that meant that not a lot of people were spending time out on the deck, and at the open air bars and things like that. So most people being inside, it did mean there was a bit of extra demand on getting a seat.
Pretty full. Like there was a couple of times we even went 20 minutes early to shows and missed a seat. So standing room only. So I mean that just shows everyone was really getting into it. But as you said, we were all staying off the decks because it was a bit cold.
It was. But so
I think go to second night show.
So I guess second night show.
Yeah.
That was fabulous. It was
fabulous.
Yeah, it was.
So tribute band to ABBA named Fabba. That was so much fun. Like everyone was up in their seats having a dance. They were getting people up on stage to have a dance and a boogie with them. I think there was a group of ladies, or that was the next night. I think Julius got up. And had a dance with them. But quality show. That was brilliant. And again, all included in your price. You didn't have to pay any extra for that one.
No.
I just say, make sure you get there in plenty of time.
Yeah, so they do have 2 showings though. So that's something to remember. Like, the theatre, the Marquee Theatre is pretty big on the P&O ships. So there are 2 showings. So you can kind of time that depending on what your dinner cycle is going to be.
Yeah, we did the 6 o'clock show and then we had our dinner at 8 o'clock. So it was perfect.
Yeah, it worked for us, and other people will do the reverse. So definitely high quality entertainment those nights.
Fantastic. I think, and again, as we just said, that atrium show is going on as well as the Fabba show that we went to as well. So there was that plus all the extra things. There was still trivias going. There was still name that tunes and whatever it may be. It doesn't really stop.
No, neither does the karaoke. The karaoke a couple of times a day.
That was a bit of fun watching that.
Yeah, that's always fun. I applaud anyone that has the
absolutely hands off
confidence
to you.
to get up and go and do such a thing. So that was again a lot of fun. Those sorts of activities. We had dinner that night. That was actually a special dinner night as well for us because we did Noah's birthday.
Yeah,
dinner.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we ate in Luke's that night. So that was that's a specialty one. So you do have to pay for that one. Again, you don't have to pay for any dining. That is all included in your price unless you wanted to go one of these specialties, which we did for that night.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
That was really good. And then another point, this is it's our little favourite place is the Blue Room. So it's another bar inside the ship that it's more, although I wouldn't say it was overly laid back on this 70s crew, is they? But it's not a full band. It's generally a solo artist or there's a
solo
piano
duo trio.
That's not coming out right.
No, it's not coming out right. But look, it is kind of a relaxed place as well.
Yeah.
We often would end up there at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But again, they were sort of pulling through as much as they could some of those 70s disco songs, and just sometimes they'd be really upbeat, and then as the night would go on, they'd bring them down to a more chilled lounge vibe.
Yeah.
But it was the same song. So again, really cool way of enjoying that.
And that's kind of how we wrapped up day 2. And I think
day 1 and day 2, and I think day 3.
Day 3 was pretty much exactly the same throughout the day. We went from show to show to class, not show to show, from trivia to game shows, whatever it may be. We just went from one to the other all day again.
We did.
And then on the day 3, they had a show, 80s tracks. No, not
8
80s.
tracks.
8 tracks. I knew there was 8 in there somewhere. So 8 tracks. So again, they were playing 70s music. They were a band.
Yes.
They were fantastic. It was another great show. Everyone got up, had another little boogie. And again, we went to the atrium pretty much straight after our show as well.
Yep.
And everyone was just dancing. I think everyone's feet were started by then.
That was epic, though, that night, that atrium dance party that night. And people of all generations getting up and dancing and pumping the air and to ABBA music and all sorts of things. The way the ship's band got in and got the crowd pumped up.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. Now, Deb, I just want to play a little bit of a clip here.
Oh. I don't know what he's doing here.
I actually will put this up as probably one of my absolute favourite cruises.
Okay, Deb, so in that clip I've just played, you made a really bold call there. You said that this is possibly the best cruise you've ever been on.
I certainly did.
Now, I want to dive into the why. Why do you think that this was possibly? Now, and when you say that, is there any caveats over best short cruise, best big cruise? Like, what made you in that moment say that?
Oh, look, to be honest, I put this down to, I don't think I have smiled, danced, sung so much. And that makes me happy. So every turn you went on the ship to a different bar, it was a different 70s tune. And that's one of my absolute favorite eras of music. So I think just the fact that you were constantly wanting to dance and sing and move just puts you in a good mood. So I think that was what made this the best cruise for me, because it made me so happy. So I guess, I can have other cruises where the food may have been better or the service may have been better or the shore tours or whatever it may be, but that's what I'm putting this one down to.
Fair call. I can see that. For me, look, I think the big thing is the theme. Like being able to just concentrate yourself into a theme is what's really, really important. I think I think that's where you can find the extra energy. I find sometimes on the longer cruises, the when you're going, you know, and we've had this before, 4 or 5 different. You've got a formal night, a dress to impress night, a Hawaiian night, or a tropical theme night party, or whatever the case.
And you might find yourself getting a little bit flat after doing so many of those. You can get
fatigued. Exactly, right. There can be a bit of fatigue with this. So I think I love this concept. For me, this is probably one of my favorite concepts for a cruise.
Yeah. These decade ones.
Yeah. Which, great news for you guys, even better for us. Coming up, we actually have an 80s cruise weekend booked as well. We also
the hair will have to go like up here on the side or
get
something.
Get it all puffed out.
Different.
We also have a 90s cruise a couple of months later coming up. So we're actually doing a bit of a travel through the decades
sure are.
with this. Funnily enough, we are, not funnily enough, with much excitement, we're also heading on those with Rob and Ali as well.
Absolutely.
From Rob and Ali Cruise Travel.
Look out, everyone.
Make sure you check their channel out. Rob and I have some big costume plans ahead.
Oh, dear. Yes. Scary, these two.
But, look, I think we highly recommend it.
Yep.
Highly recommend an 80s cruise. Highly recommend a disco glam cruise as we did with this one. I'm recommending the 80s cruise before we've even been on it.
Yeah.
This disco glam cruise was just absolutely phenomenal. Keep an eye out for
the next one.
Because we recommend you get on there as soon as you
We'll let you know if we hear of it. We'll be straight on to let you know when it is.
There are a couple of them listed already on the website, so I just haven't told Deb yet.
Oh, I haven't seen
She
those.
keeps telling me I'm not allowed to book any more cruises next year. But I might have to twist her arm. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. Continue cruising, continue grooving.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell that's there in front of you down below this video, somewhere over here or over there. And we will see you in the next one. In the meantime, we're going to also throw on the screen now. It's now covering my face and Deb's face. Some videos from the day 1 and day 2 vlogs, so you can go through and watch the Disco Glam cruise vlogs.
Keep grooving.
See ya.